Hey, welcome to a new video. In this one we're doing something a bit different, and we're going to look into blockchain integration and how you can use it to pull NFT images off from any smart contract and put them into your game. First things first, we need to head to chainsafe.io where we can get access to the gaming SDK of theirs for building Unity games with blockchain integration. You can see on here that there's a whole bunch of extra information, but all we need to do is go to the GitHub for now. And scroll down and click on the download page where we can get access to the latest version of the package, v1.0.13 for this video. Then click download and download it. To install the package, all we need to do is open a new Unity project in 2020 for this video and just drag it straight into the assets window. Click import and then wait for it to complete. Once it's done, you may see an error, which is related to the Newtonsoft package in Unity. If you're using an older version of Unity, you probably won't see this, but if you're using, I think, anything from 2020 onwards, you'll get it. And to solve it, it's very easy. Just go back to your assets folder, double click plugins, find json.net folder and delete it. So there's no longer a conflict between these two files. Following this, we're going to create a new 3D object, a quad, in our scene, which is going to hold the texture of the NFT that we'll be loading into the game. You don't need to load it onto a quad, you can load it into anything, because all we're going to be doing is replacing the default materials texture with this, and just make sure the camera can see it so that it works. Then we're going to click on the quad and we're just going to add a new script, which I'm just going to title BC Interact, and just add that now onto the code. So I've already wrote the code out this time just to make things a bit simpler and so you can see it and get copying it if that's what you want, but I will be putting this on GitHub after. The first thing that I've got highlighted here is the metadata and the attributes. These are part of the standard OpenSea NFT documentation as well as standard NFT documentation. You can see the bits I'm highlighting here, they're all related to what you need, but the only one that's super important to us is this image one, which stores the URI related to the actual image. The attributes will store the traits and values related to it, but that's not something we're using here. We're just looking at the image. So then we can move on to the main script. We start with 4 variables which define the chain, which is Polygon, because that's the chain the contract will be using is on, the network, which is the main Polygon network, the contract we'll be associating with, which is the Project Pigeon smart contract, which I can include a link to. And then we're just going to be pulling token ID 0, which has to be a string for passing into it, because that's how the Web3 Unity package works. Then in our start function, we're just going to include a get NFT image function, which is defined below. And this will be used to pull the URI off chain and load it, and then load the image from that. This first function is await, is the call to the ERC721 and Ethereum virtual machine. And this is just a definition of Web3 Unity has for it. And they include a few functions already, which is balance of, owner of batch, and the URI, which is the one we'll be using here. You can extend this, which I'll be showing you how to do in a future video, but for now, we just need to get the URI one. So to do this, once we've pulled the URI using this, we're going to use a Unity web request to actually get the JSON file related to it, which is done via this await web request section here. Then, once that's completed, we're going to get the text from that, and we're going to use the JSON convert from using newtonsoft.json at the top there, and use that to deserialize the string into the metadata object we defined earlier. Then we're going to pull the URI from that using metadata.image, as seen in the metadata class above, and use this to actually get the texture of the NFT, which we're doing by the web request, and we're using a different method to get it, but the download handler to get the texture. And then all we need to do is assign the texture to the main texture of the material this is on, and it will work. Now we're in the scene, and if we click play, because we've already attached this to our quad, it will just work. And that's the Pigeon 0, well, token ID 0 from the Project Pigeon smart contract. We can try 100 as well, and you'll see it will pull a different one from there. And in theory, all this code should work for any smart contract that stores your tokens and NFTs using the same sort of format. If the video has helped you, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe, and look forward to the next one. Goodbye.